For most people, your vehicle is one of your most expensive assets. Today I'm going to show you how to install the LAMTTO 4-channel dash camera to protect your investment from every single angle. This LAMTTO 4-channel dash camera is model number DC21. You're gonna find in the box that it is well protected with foam. Here's our main unit with the front-facing camera and the two side-facing camera. You can put them to whatever angle you need to. They also move slightly up and down. This comes with a two-sided tape. On top of the main camera, you're going to have your USB-C port, and this is what's powering up the unit. You're going to find your SD card slot with the included SD card already in it. The other port, this is for your rear camera. If we turn it around, the screen is about 3-inch wide, and you're going to see your button. You're going to have the reset port, power button, the menu, and then your arrow to go through the menu, the OK button, and the little microphone that records the sound. Now we have our wires. For the rear view camera, you're going to see that this cable is about 19.5 feet long. There is an optional 27-foot long that you can get from LAMTTO. The rear view camera comes with a double-sided tape and an extra piece if you need it. There is the two power option. So your auxiliary port 1 will actually give you access to a USB-A port. If you already have a USB port inside your vehicle, don't plug it directly because usually those ports will go up and down in voltage and your camera will flicker on and off. You have to use the harness that comes with it. You either have this choice or you can hardwire your camera. So you'll have the adapter that converts your power to 5 volt at 3 amp. You have to be careful how you're going to connect that, and I'm going to show you that later on into the video. But you have your ground wire here, and then those two power wire will go into the spare fuse underneath your hood. But the yellow wire is actually for battery positive, and the red wire is for your ACC. You will also find an extra back plate with double-sided tape for if you have to change the back plate on your camera. A USB-A to USB-C wire. You're going to have 4 little clips with double-sided tape to hold your wire nice and neat. You're gonna find a piece of static tape and your trim tool. Now the instruction manual goes in pretty good detail, and there's some troubleshooting thing that we're going to overview later on. The rear view camera is to be installed inside of your vehicle because it is not waterproof. It is also just a rear view camera, not a reversing camera. The harness do not have the extra wire to be able to power it up while backing up. It is powered up by your main camera, and it is to record accident only. First thing that we have to do is clean your windshield. Now we can install the static pad, and this is good to use for if you ever have to replace your windshield or move the camera later on, and it's gonna make it way easier to do that. To remove the air bubble, you can use a card like this. This is my Amazon card. Now I have my affiliate link for my Amazon storefront in the video description, where you can also find the camera if you're interested in buying it. Now remember, when you're installing it, that the camera needs to be able to move up in order to unhook from this mounting plate. So give yourself a little bit of room at the top of your windshield. To make sure that I'm installing the camera exactly where I want it, I'm going to remove the double-sided tape protection tape on top of this and keep the plate mounted on the camera, and then I can line it up. The camera is connected. I pass the wire all the way behind the trim, all the way down underneath the dash, and come back here, plug into the auxiliary plug. Now this camera only have the power when the truck is on, so unfortunately this setup does not record if your car gets dinged or hit while you're not having the car on. If you want to have this feature working for you, then you have to hardwire it, and I'll show you later, but this truck cannot hardwire with the kit that came with it. I'm going to have to modify the wires for it, so we're not going to do that today. But I was able to also pass the back camera. The back camera is nice and tiny. It doesn't block your view at all. If you have a Dodge Ram like this, be careful, because the passenger side, that slide window slide onto it, and you don't want to connect to the slide window either. So you have to mount it to the driver's side. After that, I just go underneath the trim and then right into those grooves, and then you can put your wire right here for the underneath the rubber for your door seal. Press again on top, follow that all the way underneath the trim, and the excess wire you can just fit it into the center here above the mirror. And yes, there is enough wire for a Dodge Ram crew cab to have the camera mounted in the back window and make his way all the way to connect to the front camera. Now, if you would have a box and need to put your camera all the way to a back window of a box, you would need the extension harness. Now that we're all mounted, let's go see the camera features and picture to see how good it looks. I'm gonna tell you one thing, the static film didn't work for me. I tried to clean the window a few times, tried to use different film. After a while, the camera just keep falling down, so then I just said, like, screw this, and then I just mounted directly underneath the mirror. Now you can see how good the picture looks. We have our review camera in the top right corner and our two side camera at the bottom. You can line them up to wherever you need to, and move them sideways if you need to. And we have our front camera at the top left corner. The resolution looks pretty good to me in 1080p. If you need to set up or do anything into the menu, it's very easy. You just press the menu button, and then you're going to use the arrow to make the screen go up or down. So now you have Wi-Fi. I'm not connected to the app right now. And then 5G, resolution, 1080p. You can put the resolution lower, but you can't make it higher. Screen record time, 1 minute. Video sound, you can turn it off or on if you want. Mirror for rear lens, so if you have your camera mounted the wrong way, then upside down, then you can mirror it. So to get into any of the option, you just press OK, and then it'll give you the option here, and then you just want to put it in blue to select one and press OK again, and then now it will change it. And then you can keep going through all this. Left and right lenses if you need to switch them. Screensaver if you want the screensaver. Preview mode. Volume. This, I think that's just the amount of light that comes in at night so that you can record better. Gravity sensing. So gravity sensing, this, if you hit pothole and it start recording on you all the time, then you might want to go in here and then adjust it a little bit lower. Or if you're going to leave your car park at night and you hardwire your camera and you want to make sure that you can record everything, if somebody touch your car at night, then you might want to set it to high. So if your sensitive is set up too low, what's going to happen is every time you hit a pothole, it's going to start recording. And because when it's recording, it doesn't rewrite on top of the stuff that it record because it thinks you get into an accident, and your SD card is going to get full, and then you're going to have to format it, and you're going to have to format it pretty often. If you don't want this to happen, and you're still going to have to format it once in a while, but if you don't want it to happen too often, then what you have to do is just set it at high, and then it's going to take a nice big shock for an accident, a real accident to happen before it starts recording. Now don't forget, when you're first putting the camera on, you're going to have to format that SD card with the camera. And the SD card that comes with the camera is 128 gig. If you need more storage or want more storage, you can upgrade it. It can read up to a card that is 256 gig. Now the card needs to be a class 10 U3. Time setting, so now you can set your time, and I think that we should do that because you need to have the right date so that if you're using this for that footage for insurance purposes because of an accident, you need to have the right timestamp on there. And our last option is just factory reset. This is actually what the camera is recording right now with the volume from inside the truck. Not my microphone with me filming right now, but the actually dash cam volume. The thing why you would want to upgrade your SD card to a bigger one or lower the resolution of your camera is because it's going to, at 1080p, it's going to heat lots of storage on your SD card. Now I'm just going to go into the menu and go into Wi-Fi, and I'm going to download this with my phone and install the app. After you're connected to your DC21, it's going to tell you that you're connected without internet, and then it kind of stopped there and it doesn't do nothing else. So you're going to go back and open up your app, but now it's going to tell you if you want to connect to the camera. Skip that part, don't connect to the camera, and go directly into the app, and then the app is going to start reading your file there. Because if you say connect to the camera, it's just going to tell you, it's just going to send you back to your Wi-Fi setting. So after you're here, you can now see the front camera. So now you can click on the camera file, and you're going to have access to all of the file that it did. It looks like all your different angles are recording by themselves. Now looking at this footage, you need to know how the processor handles this data. If you run just the front lens, it can bump up to a higher 2.5K resolution. But the second you activate all 4 channels, get you a total of 360 circle protection, the system automatically drop every single camera down to a lock 180p. Full HD at 30 frames per second. For some people, 180p might sound low if you're used to 4K dashcam, but remember the trade-off. Here's the coverage. You're trading a hyper crisp front view for the ability to catch a side swipe, a parking lot door ding, or a cabin incident simultaneously. For a budget-friendly setup, having a 4 distinct 180p feed covering your blind spot is a massive win for real-world liability. Now, if you need to remove the camera and go and check it out inside your house, maybe it's too cold outside when you're transferring your file or something, you can just use the USB-A to USB-C and bring the camera inside and plug it in the wall so that you can access the footage. I'm going to tell you that for connecting the direct power harness, you will not be able to just do plug and play in a Dodge Ram like this. And this is because underneath your hood and to your fuse box, they use different sizes of fuse, and those will not fit anywhere. For this 2019 Dodge Ram, what I would do if I want to connect it directly, I would connect my ground wire to this ground stud on the side of the frame by the fuse box. here's the main power going to the fuse panel. I would grab this battery one, put the inline fuse in here, cut the end off like this, put the terminal like this at the end so that I can put it just underneath this nut. And then for the accessory wire, which is the red one, I would also put the inline fuse in here, cut the end off, and then I would put an adapter so that I can connect to one of those prongs. Those are all spare. I would look to make sure that they only get power, because this is the accessory wire. So you want to make sure that it only gets power when the truck is turned on, and no power when the truck is turned off. I'm gonna do an updated video later on whenever I have a chance to hardwire this camera. But for now, my vehicle is secure with just the auxiliary plug when I'm driving. If you're interested in getting yourself one of those cameras, then click my affiliate link below, where I'll have them on my Amazon storefront or directly onto the LAMTTO dashcam website. All right, we'll see you in the next one. Stay safe.